Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm here with Justin, one of my clients that I've just loved working with, and he's one of my favorite guys. Just love this guy. And he was willing to get on here and share some of the success he's created through this coaching process. And I just wanted to give it an opportunity to do that. It can be so inspiring when we see other people that have been in similar situations as us go through that and create the results that felt like they eluded us. And we're going to give you a dose of that today because Justin is inspiring, man. When you hear him, you'll see what I mean. So we're just going to hear. Is there anything you want to say first off as we get started, Justin, or you want me to just ask you the questions?
Oh, let's get the questions going. That's the most inspiring part about it, right?
All right, let's do it. So, you think back when we first met, what would you say was your like biggest challenge before we worked together? And how did that challenge make you feel?
Yeah, I would say the biggest challenge was just I always felt stuck like in any of the desires that I had for change and for many of the aspects of change that I wanted to create in my life. I just felt stuck. It was I mean, yes, there was like the porn and masturbation side of it, but um and I just that feeling of like feeling stuck and that I can't change, you know? And that was like degrading and hard to deal with every single day. Like, oh, today I'm stuck. Today I'm stuck. Today I'm stuck,
Yeah,
you know? And that
just
was kind of the thought pattern that was going in and out of my head most days.
yeah. Okay. Would you mind sharing what were you nervous to like get help or pay for help? Or get on the call with me that first time? And if so, what was that like? And how did you move forward anyway?
Yeah. When I first was kind of trying to figure out what I wanted to do, just because I'd been struggling for quite some time, and I didn't quite find anything that really fit. And so trying to find something that was going to work and that I also had to pay for, it was like, I was like, oh, there was lots of feelings of resistance, but I was just like, I was at the point where I wanted to do whatever it took to change. And, that money no longer became something that I was worried about. It
Okay.
was more of I want to make this change.
So when you look back at if you could like talk to yourself back then, what would you tell them about investing the money and doing the coaching?
Uh, to not worry about it, that the money will always create itself some way, and that the amount of like resources and knowledge that I've gained from coaching are infinitely more valuable than any amount of money you could put into it.
Awesome. That's been my experience too. Thanks for sharing. What would you say was different? Because you had tried other things. I remember like you weren't just new to trying to quit this habit. You tried other things.
Yeah.
What would you say was different about this coaching experience compared to all the other things you tried?
I feel like things that I've tried in the past kind of all focused on the action, changing the action, stop doing this, stop, performing this way. And what was different about this program is it focused a lot more on becoming conscious of thinking and feelings and how those thoughts and emotions kind of translate into the changing of the action. And so just, I don't know, it felt like it was a more internal change than it was an external change, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Um,
But then
like,
yeah, keep going.
oh, I was just gonna say, like, like as far as like habits that we're trying to defunk out of our lives, it just seems much more challenging to challenge the action rather than to kind of question and understand the consciousness of the thoughts and emotions that you're having.
Yeah. Okay. So then focusing more on that internal side, did it affect the external side less or more than the stuff you tried before?
Yeah, I mean, once I did get more intentional with my thoughts and my emotions, like the actions kind of just like they just happened, you know?
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like I had to coerce the actions to change. Like the thoughts came, the emotions came. When those were changed, the action just happened.
It's so cool. Sounds easier. Um, Take us to, can you describe like, was there a moment you remember when you realized this process was actually working to solve your problem?
Through the first when I like the first block of coaching that we did, which was like a 6-month block, I feel like I had to there was a lot of things I had to kind of learn and understand just about the process of and like some of the little tools that you use just to kind of, bring that emotion and thought change. Um, but I would say like within those first 6 months, like I noticed changes all over the place. And now every time I perform self-coaching or coaching with Danny, like I'm able to establish, something that I can use the next time um an urge or an emotion or a thought is occurring in my life or an action is occurring in my life that I don't like I can get really intentional about it and I can change it up however I want to.
Awesome. Yeah, and you kept showing up. I remember I even asked you like how often you were practicing with this self-coaching stuff in your own time in between, and scale of 1 to 10, you said effort level was like, I don't remember, but it wasn't like a 10.
That
It was something in the middle, and you still created all these results, right?
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
cool to see.
I was like in the beginning, like it does take like a little bit of stuff just to learn, like whenever you're starting out, it does take a little bit of effort just to learn. But like once you've learned a lot of the little I don't want to say tips and tricks, but they're like these little tools, that you implement into your life. Um, like yeah, it does become like a level 3 amount of effort, I mean, even to like down to where you're kind of making them habits into your life to where it's, basically no effort
Yeah.
after you've implemented them for so long just to have those changes just, boom, happen.
Yeah. Okay. So then let's talk about this. People gonna want to know this. What specific results can you share that you've experienced from doing this work?
Yeah. I mean, I've been able to have times where I've wanted to look at porn or masturbate or any of the, those negative things that kind of follow along with that train of ideas and actions. I've been able to sit down with them and allow them and like be like, these things are here, but they don't have any effect on what I choose to do and what I choose to feel and what I choose to act on, And um just I've kind of like developed this like new level of consciousness around myself and around my life that like things that are enticing like any kind of existential like dopamine release like porn or sugar or um any kind of drug like that. Those things are just like thoughts and experiences that I can be conscious of how I think and feel, and so like they don't negatively sway me one way or another,
Okay.
if that like makes sense.
So then, like, because you're using some lingo from what you've learned through working with me, how do we
Yeah,
make
that's the
that
best way I
simple?
know how to explain
Yeah.
it.
How do we make that simple for someone who hasn't gone through this process? Like you used to battle a lot more with the urges, I think, than you do now. Would you say that you
Yeah,
battle with urges now, or is that? And if not, how is that go differently for you?
yeah. I mean, the battle's not there. You don't have to feel like you're fighting for your life or like using uh large amounts of motivation to
Yeah,
like get past, you know, uh, for lack of a better word, temptation.
yeah,
You don't feel like you're like holding on to this bar like so tight and you're trying not to let go. It's more of just like a breath in and a breath out, and you're on with the next thing in your life.
yeah. So awesome. And how in control would you say you are now with porn and masturbation? Scale of 1 to 10. 10 is total control. One is none at all. How
Yeah.
would you rate that now?
I feel like you kind of have to separate it a little bit because like I have good days and I have bad days, and on the majority of the time it's a good day, and I'm a 10. And but there are some times like where I am having a bad day and there is like a little bit more emotion and thought that are pushed into my life, but because I've learned how to control that
Yeah,
and understand myself a little bit better, like those days are, like an 8.59 where, they used to be a 1, a 2.
yeah,
So,
yeah. And I mean, you don't even need to be at a 10 all the time to reach the goals that you have for yourself in behavior
exactly.
habits, right?
Exactly.
That's the good news.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for sharing. Um, okay, and then I think I just to wrap things up here, like um what else do you want to say about the impact this has had on your life? Like how much has it meant to you? How's it impacted you? Anything else you want to add?
I mean, I think that this is kind of been like the next evolutionary step in my life, because it's not only affected the habits that I had with masturbation and porn, and but it's affected the way that I look at school, the way that I look at work, the way that I look at uh, training my body and putting fuel into my body. It's really been like an evolutionary step forward. It's been like that, like, next thing that I've, like, been able to grasp that has just propelled my entire life forward. And, like, you can ask my friends, you can ask my wife, anybody that's interacting with me daily is like, "You've made changes, like, crazy changes." Like, so that's been, like, kind of that's, like, exciting for me when I hear people say that to me because 'cause I'm like, "You're right, I have," you know? It's like,
Yeah.
not only am I telling myself that, but now other people are telling me that.
Wow.
So,
That's amazing. That's exciting for me. I just love hearing that. Thanks so much for sharing and so much love for you, man. Love working with you. And yeah, thanks
oh,
for doing
I was
this.
gonna say one more thing too.
What's that?
Um, this has, like, been, like, one of the most impactful things I think that coaching has, led me to do, but it's also, wanted me to start doing, like, coaching training as well, and I've done some coaching training with Danny, um, as far as like right now I'm a mental health professional, and so a lot of my clients I like to provide coaching versus other forms of therapy that I've tried, and that's kind of my go-to. And I also am looking to help other people that are struggling with this same pornography and masturbation problem, and I don't know, that's inspiring. Like that's my takeaway, and that's my what I'm trying to give now,
Yeah.
because I've gained so much.
So cool, man. So Justin Mathews, guys, remember that name. You're going to help so many people. And thanks for the inspiration today. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.